Hi and welcome everyone. Today we are doing our Saturday tarot reading. We are going to be looking into the subject of love, looking into whether you're in a relationship or out of a relationship. You're going to go ahead and pick a deck that you feel drawn to. So take a look at all these three decks, these beautiful decks right here, and see which one you are drawn to, and we'll get right into it. Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to Celestial Guidance. My name is Bebe, and for those that don't know me, I am a holistic lifestyle coach, a mentor in the law of attraction, and a psychic. And today we are getting into our Saturday tarot readings with the subject of love. We're going to go ahead and get into it right away, and we're going to do this. But before we do, what I want you to do is I want you to take a look at all these three decks, and I want you to see which of these decks you feel drawn to. Which one is saying, oh, here is the message for me. And what we're going to do for each and every one of these decks, we're going to look into if you're in a relationship and if you're not in a relationship and how it could apply to you. All right? So without further ado, so let's go ahead and start with a deep breath in and out. Let's center ourselves and bring us into this moment. And breathe in and breathe out. Perfect. I want you to continue those deep breaths in and out. I want you to send me your energies as I pray. I call upon our higher selves, our spirit guides, and our guardian angels to come into this moment and give us guidance. I want us to start with those that are not in a relationship. This reading is for those drawn to deck 1 that are not in a relationship. What messages do we need to know for those that are drawn to this deck? All right, for those that are drawn to this deck, what I'm getting here, if you're not in a relationship, it is not time to seek for a relationship. This is the time to look inward. This is the time to see, how is it that I truly feel about life, about the way things are going for me, about myself. This is the time to be more reflective and work on your connection with yourself and your deity, finding that inner peace and enjoyment of the solitude of being with yourself. Loving to be with yourself is the guidance that you're getting at this moment. We don't necessarily want to run and try to jump into a relationship, because what I'm being shown here is that although everything is available and ready and you feel like, yes, I'm ready to go into a relationship, and you have all the wisdom and all the experience and everything, you're like, I am so ready, I've been ready. But what I'm seeing here is that yes, you are ready, but it's not time yet. Right now, what your spirit guides, with your guardian angels, what even your higher self is guiding you to do right now, is actually take a moment to enjoy being with yourself without that desperation and expectations of, I should have someone, I want to have someone, I need to have someone now. And in due time, you will be getting that someone. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a card from the Goddess deck and see how we can tie all this in. All right. So the card is boundaries. Love yourself enough to say no to others, demand on your time and energy. So I'm reading this and it just perfectly fits in, because you're being guided, right? To look in, and you're being guided to enjoy that time that you have with yourself, and just, you know, have a cup of wine, watch your TV, have that bubble bath, enjoy you, get to know you better. What do you really like? What do you really want? How's your life going? Are you happy with that trajectory, or do you want to change it? And if you want to change it, make those changes. And now is saying love yourself enough to say no to others. I mean, even if that person does show up into your life, right now, we are going to do some self-love. And we have to love ourselves enough to say, you know what? Right now, I can't focus all my time on you and your needs and your wants and giving that to you at this moment. That's why it's being guided to demand that time and energy for yourself versus giving it to somebody else. So this was a perfect card to be pulled from the angels and our spirit guides to give to us. So if you're not in a relationship, that is the guidance for you if you were drawn to deck 1. Okay? If you were drawn to deck 1 and are in a relationship, we're going to go ahead and get into your reading now. For those that were just with me for not in a relationship, I want to thank you for being here. If you haven't already, please subscribe, ring that notification bell, and always comment below if you resonated with it, and if so, put deck 1 and say not in a relationship. All right, now moving on, let's go ahead. And are you guys ready? Let's take our deep breath in for part 2 of this deck for those that are in a relationship. All right, let's take our deep breath in, out. Let's call upon our higher selves, our spirit guides and guardian angels. If those that are drawn to this deck can collectively come and give us the guidance that we need. All right, perfect. Okay. For those that are in a relationship, what I'm seeing here is a situation with communication. It is interesting to see this because what is happening is you are communicating with your partner, but are you truly communicating with your partner? It seems like there's a third person involved where one of you are listening to what that other person has to say and is influencing your relationship. Now ask yourself, is this influence positive or negative? Because what is showing here is that it could help. It is also showing that it could danger the relationship. So you want to be very aware of what guidance you guys are receiving from outside sources. And remember that at the end of the day, it's you and your partner who are in a relationship. It's not other people. So you guys have to take into consideration more thoroughly what the other person is experiencing and what the other person is thinking and feeling, and take that into consideration when you're making your decisions. I'm seeing here someone feeling stuck and someone feeling like they're having to pick up all the baggage, having to do all the hard work, like the other person is not putting up their part. But what I am also seeing is that for many of you, we are looking into saying, no, that's not acceptable. I'm not going to do that. And things have to change. And this is when the guidance has been coming in. And we have to see whether that guidance is helpful or not. So be aware that just because you're getting that guidance does not mean that it's going to be beneficial. Okay, so pay attention to what you feel, what you think, and what your partner feels and what they think, and see what resonates for both of you to be true as a true compromise for the situation. All right, so in your case, I'm going to go ahead and pick a card from the Ascended Masters and see what card is pulled out for you. So you got stay focused. And so for this card, for me, it's a perfect fit. It's saying stay focused. And what you're looking at all these messages that our spirit guides and guardian angels and even our higher self is coming through and telling us stay focused is all this other stuff that people are telling us. They're distractions. Other people's opinions is exactly that, just their opinion. You need to look back in and stay focused on what the actual situation is. When you are discussing things with your partner, stay focused on what the end goal is supposed to be versus just going on tantrums of, well, you did this and you did that and then you did this and you did that. And the next thing you know, you forgot what you started talking about in the first place. So if you were drawn to deck 1, this was the reading for you if you were in a relationship, if you are in a relationship. All right. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Ring that notification bell. Comment below if you resonated with this deck and also that you are in a relationship. Okay. So now let's go ahead and move on to our second deck. For our second deck, we're going to go ahead and work with this deck. This is our gilded deck. So let's go ahead and start with those that are not in a relationship. So if you were drawn to this deck and you're not in a relationship, this is the reading for you. Okay? So let's go ahead and start with our deep breath. And as we take this deep breath, I will pray and I want you to send me your loving energy. Open up your heart and let us connect. Deep breath in and out. Calling upon all the guardian angels and spirit guides, higher selves of those, collectively speaking, that were drawn to this deck. For those that are not in a relationship, what messages do we have for them? Okay. It's interesting because this deck actually has some of the same cards pulled as the first deck for not in a relationship. But the journey is different. So here we're looking at, yes, you have learned a lot. Yes, you've grown a lot. Yes, you've experienced a lot and you have this. You're wiser now. You are able to find that balance in a relationship and you say, I am ready. But what we're working on now is still needing to heal past trauma. So while we have everything else going for us, what we're looking at here is finding that healing. We are looking at, I'm getting this vision like you're on this journey where you are finding where you belong, finding where your heart lies and feels safe. That is where you need to be first. We need to feel healed. We need to feel safe. We need to feel like at least we are starting on that journey, that progress, before we're ready for a relationship. So for the next week, 2 weeks that we're looking at for this month of April, in this situation, we want to look at, how can I heal? How can I let go of the trauma that's happened in my life? Ask yourself questions like, am I judging relationships that might come into my life based on what I've gone through in the past? You can ask yourself questions like, am I skeptical and have a guard up because of the things that I've gone through in the past in my life? If those answers are yes, then you know that you are still in need of some form of healing. Okay? So for you, it says everything else is good, but we got to work on that part so that way when you get that partner, you are able to have a blissful relationship. Okay? So let's go ahead and pick from the fairy deck and see what one card will tie all this in for you. So you got problem solved. Isn't this perfect? We're talking about healing. And then you're being told the problem is solved. That's all it takes. Once you do this healing, the problem is solved. You might even find that you do not want a partner because now you're so happy and enjoyment in your life, finding so much enjoyment in your life, and that you feel like it's just a cherry on the top. It's not something that you no longer feel like you need in your life. So that is the guidance for you if you were drawn to deck 2 and you're not in a relationship. All right, so now let's go ahead and get into if you are in a relationship, deck 2. For those that were deck 2 and were not in a relationship, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you can tune in every Saturday with me. All right, deck 2, let's go ahead and take our deep breath in and out. Let's get centered. Send me your energies. I will pray, and we will see what messages are here for you. I call upon our spirit guides, our higher selves, and our guardian angels to come give us the guidance that we need. For those that were drawn to deck 2 and are in a relationship, what information is here for us to know? Okay, if you are in a relationship and you were drawn to deck 2, what I'm seeing here for you is that you've done all the work and you guys are having a great relationship. You're having a soulmate connection and everything is going well. Really, the guidance here is to continue doing the self-work so that you can continue to improve. Continue to set the boundaries so that you can continue to improve and continue to take time to enjoy each other. The only thing that I'm seeing here as a negative is that sometimes we get so caught up in our own worlds and the things that we have to do that we neglect to take into consideration the fact that the other person also wants that time with us, and we continue to prioritize everything else before we prioritize our relationship. So what we're being guided to here is very simple. Everything is going great. Just don't lose track of why you guys came together. Don't lose track of the fact that you guys still have to cultivate the relationship. Because if you don't cultivate the relationship like anything that is growing, if it's not cultivated, it dies. So not that it's going to die, but you are being guided to continue to cultivate the relationship so that both partners can feel that peace and that joy, they can feel that union that they feel internally. Now they can express it externally as well. All right, so for this deck, I'm going to pick a deck from the Goddess deck and see how we tie this in. You got Mary Magdalene, unconditional love. Love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearance may be. So that fits perfectly into what we're saying because, again, we get caught up with life. We get caught up with the things that are happening around us, and what we're being guided to is to cultivate that love that we have with our partners, which is a great love, which everything is going well, and it's saying, just don't forget, love yourself, others, and every situation. You know, bring joy and gratitude to yourself, to your life, to your relationship, and you'll see how that's going to double, triple, quadruple into your life. All right, so if you were drawn to deck 2 and you're in a relationship, this is the deck for you. All right, So now we're going to move on to our last deck. Our last deck is deck 3, our Book of Shadows. Okay, so for those that were deck 2, I wanted to say thank you so much for having been here. Appreciate you. Of course, please comment below if they resonated with you or any other thing you'd like me to talk about, discuss when we do our tarot readings. Also, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you can get notified every time that I upload. And I'll be here every Saturday doing tarot readings with you guys. So thank you. All right, for deck 3, if you're not in a relationship, now it's your turn. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath in and out. And as we do this, I want you to send me your loving energies. Open your heart to me and let's see about connecting. All right, deep breath in and out. Perfect. All right. I called upon our higher selves, our spirit guides, and our guardian angels as I prayed silently this time. Okay, if you're not in a relationship and you're drawn to deck 3, the message that you are receiving is we've got to work on ourselves. So we have to work on our emotional balance. We've got to work on our spiritual balance, and we have to work on grounding. It says that our energies are showing that they're very intense. You know, I'm being shown energies that need to be brought down, very fiery energies, so we need to bring them down and ground to the earth. We need to find that balance within ourselves. So really, again, it seems like this is not the time for a relationship for anyone at this moment who is not in a relationship. What we are doing is instead working on ourselves. You know, I'm very curious to see what May is going to bring, because April is all about us getting in tune with ourselves. And if you were drawn to this deck and you're not in a relationship, it's telling you to take inventory of that. Take inventory on your mental state, your emotional state, your spiritual state. Find that peace, find that grounding, get connected once again to your true self, to the earth, so you're able to come back out bright and capable and willing and feeling like you can take on the world. But right now we got to reel it in, and we need to work on our inner body, on our inner guidance, our inner mind, so that we can be in the right place and time when this relationship does come to us. Okay, in your case, I'm going to get from the God, Goddess, and Angel deck, and let's see what card I am drawn to tie this reading up. For this deck, we got Goddess of Knowledge. Start to apply what you already know. Trust your intuition. All right, so as we said, you need to take the inventory, right? So start and apply what you already know. You know how to take care of these things. So you already know about breath work. Do you already know about going outside and doing some earthing? You already know about how to find ways to de-stress yourself through meditation, how to find ways to connect to the earth through breath. Finding ways, you have to see of what you already know and start there. Take inventory of what it is, to see where you're at, and use these techniques to get you to where you need to be. And of course, it says trust your intuition, because you want to pace yourself. You don't want to just do things just because it's what you're being told to do. You want to trust that you know what's best for you, but you have to listen to your heart and not your mind for that one. You got to close your eyes. You got to come into the moment with yourself and be present in that moment. And as you ground those energies and become one with the earth and become one with yourself, then you're able to ask that question coming from the heart versus from the mind, and seeing, what do I need to do, and to what extent do I need to do it? All right. So if you were drawn to the third deck and you're not in a relationship, this was the reading for you. All right. Now we're going to move on to those that are in a relationship for deck 3. For those that were in deck 3 and were not in a relationship, I appreciate you being here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, because I'll be here every Saturday doing these tarot readings for you and giving you the guidance that you've been seeking. So for those that are in a relationship, let's go ahead and get started now. I want you to go ahead and take your deep breath in with me. And as I pray and we get centered, please bring and send me that love and energy and openness, and let's get to it, okay? Let's see what messages are here for you in your relationship, for those that are in a relationship and were drawn to deck 3. So let's get started. Ready? Deep breath in and out. Calling upon our guardian angels, our spirit guides, and our higher selves. Give us the guidance for those that were drawn to this deck. What information do we need to know if you are drawn to this deck and you are in a relationship? Okay, so if you are in a relationship and you were drawn to this deck, everybody needs to do their part, and that is what I'm getting from here. I'm seeing that there's the lack of balance, and that's where we need to work on. We need to work on understanding that just because we have the type of personality that we are willing to take care of everything doesn't mean that we should have to take care of everything, and that there needs to be that balance between the two partners. So the message here is find that balance before you're so overwhelmed that you feel like you have just like, you're checking out. You just like, I can't do this anymore. I'm burnt out. So you need to find that balance. So it's okay to say, you know what, can I please get a little help with this? Because it is very possible that your partner is not even aware of the fact that they're leaving everything on your plate. And the reason why is because you are so accustomed to taking charge. You're so accustomed to doing things yourself that as things continue to pile up, you just keep saying, I can handle this, I can do this, I can handle this, I can do this. And what's happening is slowly but surely, you're becoming burnt out. So don't be afraid to say, hey, can I get a little hand? Can you do this, can you run this errand for me? Or can you help me with this chore? Whatever it is, don't be afraid to speak up, because right now it looks like you are doing it all and you're feeling like I'm about to burn out. So it's okay to ask for some help. Here, let's go ahead and pick a deck from the Ascended Masters. So I'm going to pick a deck from here and see how this all ties in for you. What guidance do we need to know? Okay, and it says purification, the white tarot. So when I'm looking at purification and I'm looking at the message, I'm seeing a clean start. Start fresh, okay? Let's let go of how we did things before. Let's go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to do things differently from now on, because the way that I was doing things, it was working, but it was draining me. Let's find a new way to purify ourselves, our energies, our surroundings, so that it only enhances our lives versus drain us. So yes, ask for that help, and maybe not just from your partner in your love relationship, but maybe even from your children or your friends or your, it's okay at this moment to say, look, I'm burning out. I need a little help. Help me so that I can change things around, and do change things around, because the way you've been doing things, even though it's working physically, it's not working for you emotionally or spiritually. You are finding yourself drained. So If you were drawn to deck 3 and you are in a relationship, this was the reading for you. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all being here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, because I'll be here every Saturday providing you with more tarot readings. Thank you again, and as always, I'll be here providing you celestial guidance. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate you being here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little notification bell so that you can continue to receive content every time that I upload. Thank you so much, and you have a blessed day.